So we're here with Rob McCreary. He's the creative director who works on Starfinder, and we're at Paizo headquarters today. First of all, I'm gonna ask for new gamers, what does Starfinder have as an entry point to gaming?
Well, right now we've got the Starfinder core rulebook that has pretty much everything you need to get started. But next year in April we're coming out with the Starfinder Beginner Box, which is a sort of all-in-one introductory version of the Starfinder rules. It comes in a box. It has everything you need to play with people, even if you've never played an RPG before. It's going to walk you through the process. It has a book for GMs and for players, pre-generated characters, blank character sheets, pawns, flip mats, everything you need to go play right out of the box and just experience everything that Starfinder has to offer.
Awesome.
Dice too, those in the box, yeah. Everything you need.
So it seems a lot of the books coming out for Starfinder, they offer a nice mix of player options, like Hacked Worlds, which was a source book for locations. That had a lot of material for themes for characters that players could basically use this in character creation, as well as Alien Archive, which was a book of like monsters and creatures for GMs to use in their game. That also had a lot of playable races. It had some new magic, things like that. So these source books so far, they've offered a wide range of options. Are we going to see this for every new book coming out? And forgive me, I don't have a copy of our book yet.
Yeah, totally. That's something that we really wanted to do with our books, is have something there for everyone and not just, oh, this is a book for the GM and there's nothing for players. Because we want to get, we have a whole galaxy to play with. Yeah. And so when we talk about the Alien Archive, we really want to get that Star Wars Cantina feel in the game. And the only way you can do that is to have lots of aliens to play. So if we have a new alien monster that also, hey, you know what, you can play this as a character, we're going to do player racial traits for that. We're going to do, just like you said, an armory, of course, is super player focused because we've got a whole bunch of new equipment, new weapons, but we also have new class options. That even if you don't want to buy that new piece of equipment, there's some different class features that you can take. Our adventure paths, our monthly adventure paths also have the same thing. We want to always put in some new stuff, whether it's new equipment, new spells. That's just something, we want to give something for everybody, and we're going to do as much as we can, putting those player options into just about everything we can.
About the mechanics of the game, there's magic in Starfinder, but it's limited to 6th level spells is the highest tier, whereas Pathfinder was limited to 9th level in 1st edition. But anyway, what was behind the decision to limit magic to 6th level spells in Starfinder?
Starfinder is a science fantasy game, so it's both the science fiction side, but we really wanted to have some fantasy as well. But to sort of separate it from Pathfinder, we were thinking, well, how do we do that? And we started thinking about, well, if you have really accessible high technology, how is that going to replace magic in some cases? And so it's like, you can have a wizard that casts a light spell, but do you need that if somebody can just make a flashlight that's mass produced? And so one of the ways then to sort of show that distinction of how tech can do, advanced tech at least, can cover that, was to lower the spell casting a little bit. So there's one thing, if you compare it with something like Pathfinder, the 6th level spells in Starfinder are not necessarily equivalent to 6th level spells in Pathfinder. There's some higher level spells that have been dropped down to that level just because magic isn't as used as much in the galaxy now, because tech can do so many more things.
I've heard some players complain about the mechanics of ship-to-ship combat. Any advice for GMs who want to run an effective ship-to-ship combat scenario in their game?
One of the challenges in a role-playing game like Starfinder is that it's very character-focused and on that kind of scale. And so when you add something like starships, which take place on a much bigger scale, they don't quite interact with the rules the same way, which is why Starfinder sort of has this, the starship combat system is more of a kind of an add-on to it, so it's not necessary to play the game. So it is sort of an optional thing. Now, we do say that the sort of default assumption is you're the crew of a starship. So one of the things I think is just to have fun with it. It's not meant to be a purely tactical sort of simulation of what real starship combat would be like. There's, we wanted to give a role for every character to do something. There are a few classes like mystics that don't have as much to do in starship combat, so it's kind of, for GMs, it's kind of looking what opportunities can you give each of the characters, and kind of think about, you're telling the story of these characters, so the more you get away from that in sort of big fleet battles, the sort of direct starship combat doesn't work as well. It's super functional and can be fun as long as you're kind of looking at it like that. But if you want to kind of spice it up and get ideas, a lot of fans have made a lot of sort of adjustments or talked about what they do, and we have our message boards at Paizo.com where people come and post all their things, and there's lots of good advice there on different things people have done for starships. And it's also something that, in the future we'd like to do a little bit more and expand those to provide a lot more greater options. So we don't have any direct plans to announce, but that's always something in the back of our heads that we're looking forward to maybe getting some more options and more things to do with that later on.
Mm-hmm. I think Starfinder is a great game. I think it's a great place for people to get started in gaming. Where can our viewers buy it?
And you can get it at just about any of your friendly local game stores. You can also come to Paizo.com. We sell it at our web store here in both PDF and physical copies. We're in some bookstores and stuff as well, but Amazon, of course, always has everything. Plenty of places to do it. Just look for Starfinder or Starfinder role-playing game, and you can find it and get all the stuff you need to start playing.
Cool. Rob, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.